In the last video, we said that I was going to give you a powerful weekly planning tool that will help ensure that nothing falls through the cracks and that will prevent you from being bit on the bum by those pesky crocodiles. However, before I do, I need to extract a commitment from you. You ready for this? I need you to go through these next exercises and fully commit to doing them. So there are 5 exercises in all. Some are short, some are long, some just call for your commitment, yes, I'll do it. For some of you, you might not want to make this commitment until you've gone through this whole video to find out what all the activities entail. For others of you, just make the commitment, go through the lessons, knowing and trusting that these will all help you to become far more productive, which will help you accomplish your goals in your role as sales leader. So just make a commitment to yourself as though I'm there. Say, yes, Ian, I'm happy to do them. Okay, so let's get stuck in. Let's take a look at the very first exercise. If I was going to be sitting across the desk from you, so let's say I'm sitting right there with you one-on-one, I would get you to do the very same exercise that my coach gave me, which I mentioned earlier. So right now, I want you to get out your diary. Come on, pull out your diary, whatever organizer you use. So press pause, stop the video, and do this now. Okay, you got it? Great. So now, I want you to take a look at your next 3 days. So looking at your next 3 days, and I want you to schedule in an appointment with yourself. I want you to block out 1 hour. Find an hour in the next 3 days and block it out. This is an appointment with yourself. And during this hour, you are going to experience what I did 4 years ago. I want you to actually get a real experience of working in productive time. I'm going to get you to set your alarm, and during this golden hour, you are only to work on increasing profitable sales revenue generation of the sales team. Nothing else. That's it. No emails, no receiving phone calls, no pop-in visitors, no toilet breaks, no water, no coffee, no deadline stuff. Nothing other than increasing the profitable sales revenue generation of the sales team for the full 60 minutes. So I want you to think of this hour with the same kind of mindset that precedes going away for, say, 2 weeks leave. I mean, if you think about how much work you get done in that final day before you go off on your break. Think back to the kind of pressure that you're under to make sure that everything's done and that you've cleared your desk and cleared your in tray and done everything you possibly can for things to run smoothly while you're away. Okay, so the goal of the exercise is 1 hour, full throttle. I want you working on the main thing. So schedule that time in now. So press pause now. I suppose the bottom line is, the truth of the matter is, I don't know you, and I don't really at this point know your current level of productivity focus. Here's what I do know, and this is from witnessing firsthand hundreds of managers in very senior roles such as yourself. Most of them actually believed that they were more productive than they actually were. Now, having said that, there are also many who are self-aware enough to admit that, yeah, they maybe do have some additional capacity. So I want you to humor me for a moment and do the exercise anyway. Schedule in that productivity hour. Just do it. It's important to note, just by the way, that other than just improving your own personal production and the results, there's a wonderful side benefit to this productive hour. You also are going to improve your decision-making skills. And this is going to happen organically as you begin to filter your decisions always through the lens of, will this activity increase the profitable sales revenue generation of the sales team? And I can promise you that the more work time you invest in this productivity workplace, the greater your value will increase and the closer you'll get to shrinking the gap between what you're currently earning and your desired income goal. It's important that once you've completed your hour of productive time, that you stop and do some reflection. So the reflection is all about comparing what it was like to really work hard and be focused and to really drive yourself in that short space of productive time as opposed to how you normally work. So you really want to make a clear distinction. You want to come away from that hour with a very clear difference between high productivity and just general productivity. By the way, if your 1 hour of productive time seemed kind of the same as what you normally do, then I would challenge you to figure out how to do it differently, how to suck more juice out of it. Because when you're in that productive time headspace, it must be different from the usual. You want to make sure that it's different to just your regular working activity. The second exercise that I have for you, you'll find in your tools and resources section of the website. Take a look at the folder marked Rocks, and you will see a YouTube video link. It's a URL that I'm going to really highly encourage you to watch. This is a clip of Dr. Stephen Covey, the author of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and First Things First. And he is brilliantly demonstrating how to avoid distractions and how to make sure that you work in the most productive time space. Take a look there. There's a URL. Click on it and take some notes while you're busy going through that. It's a really powerful vignette. Okay. Now, if you've read any of Covey's material, if you've heard any of his work, you'll know how powerful this little lesson is. And if you're not familiar with Dr. Stephen Covey, then you'll be fascinated by what is really an engaging demonstration of, as he calls it, putting first things first. And besides just learning from this video, what it will also do, it's going to provide us with a common language moving forward on this course. In other words, as an example, if I was to say a rock, or if I was to say a quadrant 1 or quadrant 2 activity, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So I really want you to watch and learn. As I said earlier, I promised to give you a powerful weekly planning tool that will ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. Remember? All right. So this now becomes your third activity. So far already you've had 2. First one was set aside your productive hour and run that exercise. Second one was watch the Stephen Covey YouTube demonstration. Here's your third exercise, which I've adapted and simplified it from the book First Things First by Stephen Covey and Roger Merrill. So I want you to grab your workbook that you're working in, and I want you to, first of all, stop and think about and come up with a list of all the different hats that you wear when you're at work. So these are all the different responsibilities you have. So some examples of these various hats you might wear in your role as a sales leader are, as an example, planning, which can include forecasting and sales analysis and strategy. HR, or human resources, which includes hiring, terminating, training, rewards, recognition, organizational culture. Another one will be you wear the hat of a coach, where you motivate and develop your sales team and your direct reports. This includes working with them both back at the office as well as in the field. Another hat that you might wear might be the hat of marketing and all the responsibilities associated with that role. Maybe in your role you also wear the hat of customer service. You have an administration hat, which includes finance, P&Ls, budgeting, expense management, and general overall department operational supervision. Some sales managers I work with are also in charge of product development, and this role may also include managing competitive data. You might also wear an executive team hat, and this is where you represent sales and marketing at the senior management table with all other departments of the organization. So this is interdepartmental liaison. Another hat you wear obviously is the sales hat, and you might have your own key accounts that you manage, sales channels, distributors, agents, etc. Let's also not forget another cap that you wear, which is your own personal career cap. By the way, if you're not sure of all the caps that you wear, check your job role description. So these are just examples of some of the hats that you wear in your job role. So I just want you to pause the video right now and stop and take the time to think about, make a note of, and jot down all the various hats that you wear in your current role, and just bullet point some of the major responsibilities with each one of those hats. Now, also recognizing that some of you may be business owners as well as obviously sales leaders, and therefore you guys have to include all the other responsibilities that you have, of which sales and marketing might just be one. So press pause and do this now. All right, now once you've written them down, I want you to rearrange each of these hats so that you can end up with a maximum of 7. Try and compress them into 6, but make sure that you have no more than 7. Otherwise, it becomes too unwieldy and too cumbersome when it comes to following the rest of the planning model that I'm about to disclose.